Deliver.
Boy, never before have I seen such a crammed-in event for WWE. NXT Stand Deliver went from being a two-night special occasion to sharing the same day as the first night of WrestleMania. By looking at the list of events that took place in Dallas, you can almost see the suffocation from being stuffed in there. Also, this is the first time that NXT took place outside Florida since February 2020. I still don't get why we can't call this NXT TakeOver, but I also don't get why I have to call a lot of these wrestlers by different names, so we're stuck in wonder. Also, I've been to Dallas, and I feel bad for those struggling to get an Uber from the city to AT&T Stadium after going through 3 hours of an NXT Premium Live event. Once the show was over, it's off to the stadium. Please balance out next year's WrestleMania week in Los Angeles.
Greatest women's champion.
Mandy Rose thinks that winning a simple fatal four-way match will make her the greatest NXT women's champion of all time. Newsflash, Asuka and Shayna Baszler have both won several fatal four-way matches, so you got a long way to go in order to reach their levels.
I will deliver.
I will deliver.
It's hard to tell if these wrestlers are guaranteeing their win or if they are accepting the responsibility of delivering pizzas to customers. Yikes, the technicians forgot to turn on the lights of the WrestleMania sign. It's literally the day of WrestleMania and the sign is fast asleep still. Here's when you can tell that WWE is really rushing this event to ensure fans get to WrestleMania in time. Solo Sikoa, Grayson Waller, and Santos Escobar are already in the ring before the show even went on the air. See, this is what happens when you cram this show into the tight space of WrestleMania week. If you don't got any room, then better luck next year. So why do Cameron Grimes and Carmelo Hayes get their own entrance? Meanwhile, we're giving the middle finger to the rest of the competition here. Out of everyone competing here tonight, Grayson Waller is the only guy to have his Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and even his TikTok added into his name graphics. Why are those such a big deal? Carmelo Hayes starts the ladders match by declaring the North American Championship as the most important title at the moment. I bet everyone is like, fucking duh! What do you think we're here for? Free snacks? Okay, I get that this is an NXT 2.0 event, but did WWE seriously reconstruct the barricades at ringside in favor of the see-through glass walls? May I ask what the point of that is?
Santos Escobar.
Even worse, those glass walls are easily breakable. The barricades holding them have already tumbled over, and we're not even 10 minutes into the show. Grayson Waller yells out to Sanga to bring out a ladder from under the ring, despite the fact that there are several ladders already waiting outside the ring. Well, that ladder fiasco was pointless. Okay, that was weird. Cameron Grimes was barely grazed by Sanga at all. Just a tiny little bump was enough for him to fall over like his balance was more sensitive than a Twitter mark.
Can you imagine if Grayson Waller is the one to climb the ladder?
Well, that'd be a good idea if Grayson would do something other than look around at the crowd. I get that this is the first time he's ever competed in front of this big of a crowd during NXT, but move your ass! Not that anyone cares what's trending, but I'm pretty sure that on a day like today, the #1 trend in the United States is WrestleMania, not Stand and Deliver.
They stand and deliver, and look who just...
Boy, I'm seeing a lot of botches and poorly timed misses in the early goings of this match. Not a good start so far. Maybe that's why Grayson and Santos Escobar demanded that ladders from under the ring be pulled out earlier, so that I can activate the first ladder introduced as too small to reach the prize cliche. I'm honored that you're a fan, but is it worth putting in another sin? There's already quite a few on the counter already. Solo Sikoa puts in the first sin remover of the video with that creativity. Trapped Grayson Waller, sandwiched Carmelo Hayes with ladders, and then smashed into Santos Escobar, which in turn smashed everyone else. The tribal chief will be proud of his future recruit.
To do it, Cameron Grimes and...
Carmelo Hayes was already preparing a backflip in the air before Cameron Grimes could even hit him with the ladder.
No!
Santos Escobar and the ladder are both dicks to Cameron's Grimes. If Cameron was face down, Santos would have sent that ladder to the moon.
Are willing to take...
That was a cool move on the part of Carmelo Hayes. Unfortunately, Grayson Waller had to step down from the ladder and fall over before getting hit in order for that move to be connected in the first place. Alright, that was painful without a doubt. Guess I will remove 2 sins this time. Well done, Santos Escobar.
Call themselves...
Trick Williams must have rewatched the 2017 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match and got inspired by James Ellsworth. That is the most easily breakable ladder I have ever seen in my entire life, and I am not even kidding. What the fuck? I guess it wouldn't be a ladders match without the ladder is bridged between the barricade and the ring apron cliche. Whatever the hell that was supposed to be. I'm just gonna say it right now. Sanga is the absolute worst at trying to sell being knocked over by someone who fell onto him from 15 feet in the air.
A better way to go.
Grayson Waller had his hand on the strap for a good 5 seconds before Santos Escobar did anything about it. If you're gonna quickly climb the ladder, don't pretend you forgot how to unstrap the prize above.
We talk about going viral.
Well, if Grayson Waller's intention was to go viral, congratulations, you did it. Dumbass lunatic jumps through a ladder with no one on it. It's WWE video games in real life.
No right driven.
Congratulations to Cameron Grimes on winning the NXT North American title, but at the same time, he took a lot of punishment in the last 20 minutes. Why is he not selling the damage like a wrestler should be doing? This is an awkward image. So Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode arrived at the arena, went up an escalator, and then walked down the hallway of the 200 section, which wasn't anywhere near the backstage area, as a way of showing they arrived. I know this because I was hanging out there the Raw after WrestleMania.
Place for us to connect.
With the way Tommaso Ciampa is fidgeting in his seat, I'm wondering if he was told to cut this promo during a time when he desperately had to pee. I feel for you, man. Backseat camera in Tony D'Angelo's car. I gotta take off another sin because this entrance for Tommaso Ciampa felt like a fantastic send-out to him as he is leaving NXT after tonight. No doubt one of NXT's best of all time.
The locker room.
I was going to remove a sin for Tommaso Ciampa paying tribute to Triple H with that knee facebuster maneuver. Unfortunately, Tony D'Angelo did not get hit whatsoever and reacted to nothing, so a sin goes in its place. Sorry.
Once a villain, always a villain.
It's intense anytime a wrestler pulls out the floor padding, exposing the concrete beneath, but Tommaso spends a lot more time trying to figure out how to pull it off than he does actually doing damage to Tony. Those punches from Tony are so devastating you can almost see the air react in so much pain. The brutality is insane.
Pedigree here in NXT.
Where's my pizza, Chad? Parker, deliver the pizzas right now or you don't get paid. Last shots. Go! Congratulations, you're being a discount Dolph Ziggler from 2008. Now get to your point so we can finish up here.
Always the one in the locker room, trying to make sure everything was right.
Except when he was constantly trying to murder Johnny Gargano on a weekly basis for several years. Don't forget about that.
Wait, what's Ciampa thinking now?
A more logical question is why haven't you been paying attention to what Tommaso Ciampa is doing, you stupid dumbass?
NXT.
What a devastating knee to the air. I get that Tony D'Angelo loves using crowbars to his advantage in matches, but was he seriously okay with the risk of getting disqualified on the major stage of NXT Stand and Deliver against one of NXT's all-time greats? The logic here doesn't make any sense. Now, if the referee was down...
Do your damn job!
Why would Tony be yelling at the timekeeper to do his job when the timekeeper rings the bell when directed to by the referee? Complain to the referee or something. While trying to make Tony tap out to the Gargano escape, Tommaso unintentionally puts his own foot under the bottom rope, which should force the break. I guess when doing Johnny Gargano's moves, your logic really does become non-existent. Ow, my fucking neck still hurts. I will admit, this was a brutal way for Tony to defeat Tommaso today. From rewatching it, I can still feel the pain of the head connected to the concrete. What a brutal ending. Wouldn't put it past WWE to have an illegitimate father-son storyline between Triple H and Tommaso Ciampa in the future, given they look so alike here.
Cameron and the Icon.
With how many times the Creed brothers push and punch each other, it will definitely be hard to tell if one of them turns on the other or if they're just playing around.
And their opponents, they are the NXT.
Man, why did they have to change Imperium's theme? If there's anyone who had a kick-ass theme, it was Gunther and Imperium. Obviously, we'll get over it, but this change is such a shame. The referee calls for the bell to be rung for the match to begin, but shouts it to the heavens as if the timekeeper for the night is already deceased.
Illegal can only tap.
Who the hell threw the towel of the Creed brothers? Diamond Mine is on the other side of the ring. Does this technically mean the Creed brothers lose the match by forfeit since the towel got thrown?
Athletes from the Creeds.
That one moment, when the only impressive moment from this part, was Wesley leaping off in the back of Marcel Bartel.
SK has to come into play.
What the hell was that supposed to be? Are we sure that the Creed brothers didn't walk into this match drunk today?
You ain't gonna win.
Brutus Creed has been terrible so far in this match. Reacted way too late from Nash Carter's kick to the back.
Bartel gets caught. It Brutus.
There's way too much going on in this match that is tough to keep up with. And because of that, we missed Brutus Creed counter Marcel Bartel on the inside because the cameras are trying to focus on what's taking place on the outside.
The same fate again. Goes up, goes down. And
What the hell is even going on in this match anymore? I expected a lot of great things, but what I did not expect a lot of was confusion.
Dojo putting in every extra second away.
Julius Creed gets tagged in. Nash Carter is prone for more damage to the leg, and instead Julius decides, nah, I'm gonna look cool leaping over you just to walk to Marcel Bartel. I don't see how that was supposed to hurt Marcel any further, considering Nash didn't exactly connect any of his feet against his chest. So what was the point of the finger taunt and the showing off if you were just gonna throw down Wesley's leg? And why didn't Wes do anything about it? It's not like holding up your index finger causes your opponent to get stunned or anything. Imperium really loves to get kinky with their opponents now, don't they?
Moves like a cruiserweight, hits like a heavyweight, and right now...
I'm starting to question if Wesley's weakness is grabbing his leg and hanging onto it. It seems to work out for his opponents 100% of the time.
Wait, have you ever seen anything like this?
Vic Joseph somehow hasn't watched Wade Barrett's career, which involves several moments when he was in a massive superplex position with multiple opponents.
Julius into the cover.
But make sure to spread your legs as far as possible so someone can pull you out of the ring first.
MSK. Whoa!
Since Wes's leg slipped off of Marcel, it was Marcel himself who cost Imperium the tag team titles by flipping forward on his own accord. Maybe that's why Fabian Eichner had enough of him.
But why is it only tragedy unites people?
Joe Gacy has a good point. Unfortunately, when there's triumph and positivity going around, nobody seems to give a shit about each other. Meanwhile, at the first sight of tragedy, everyone comes together, mourns, and then goes back to not giving a shit about each other. That's humanity for you. Also, it's hard to tell if Harlan is trying to look menacing for the camera or if Joe dared him to have a staring contest throughout the entire duration of his promo. Decide. Previously on NXT Stand Deliver. Here's what doesn't make sense about this. Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai won the Dusty Rhodes Classic, which gives them a shot at the women's tag team titles, but instead they choose to be added to the women's title match. Meanwhile, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez reunite and automatically get a title shot, which they win and lose 3 days later back to Toxic Attraction. Here are 10 sins. This is so confusing. You know, the only thing that would have been cool about the skateboard entrance for Cora Jade would be if one of the guys accidentally fell off of their skateboards. Otherwise, it's just some dudes riding around on skateboards instead of doing kick-ass tricks.
You was just a bunch of excuses that you've already written down.
I'm really concerned that Io Shirai had one too many drinks prior to walking out to the stage for her entrance, the way she's stumbling all over the place. Discount Alexa Bliss with a Rising Podium entrance. I get that we're trying to have new designs on championships, but I'm just saying, not every women's title has to have a white stripe just so we can tell they're for the women. Got a problem with them also having the black stripes just like the men? Heel champion is always teamed up on by the face challengers, which doesn't work out, and the champion walks away with the title in the end cliche.
If she wins, as far as I'm concerned, she's all.
Cora Jade was ready to take the Snapmare takedown, and Kaylee Ray said, no, not that side. Over here on this side, please.
To reinvent her look, her attitude has some attitude, right?
Really? Mandy Rose could have hit any move and any opportunity to take down Cora Jade, and the one thing she chooses to do is slap Cora and then pose while Cora is still standing, not really hurt? What an idiot.
I already beat you!
If you already beat Kaylee Ray, then you would know that the one thing you should not be doing is underestimating her, as demonstrated by that kick.
It was done all over in Europe
Ow, that really hurt. Well, it's snuggling time.
and ended up winning the match for her team. We may sometimes get a bunch.
Had to wait a while just to see if I should place the haha you failed sin, then figured instead the sin should go to at least you tried, complete with Bart Simpson throwing away the cake. You know the one. The sin I place here is to whoever's bright idea it was to place the commentator's desk so close to the freaking ring. Consider yourselves lucky that Io Shirai didn't break either of her legs in this moment, which would in turn make her smash her face on the floor. Also, why isn't the commentator's table in the place where it's usually supposed to be at, right in front of the WrestleMania sign?
Oh, trying to snake a victory like the weasel.
Vic Joseph somehow has a problem with the champion lying in wait and then taking advantage of the chance to retain her title caused by the damage of other opponents. This guy would fit in well with Byron Saxton and David Otunga as the whiniest commentators of all time.
Texas Cloverleaf.
Okay, who put ice in the ring just to prank Io Shirai and make her fall over when she turns over the Texas Cloverleaf?
She might not be able to.
In case for whatever reason you thought this was the winner-takes-all match in the main event of WrestleMania 38.
No.
About time we got a center mover for something, because that Canadian destroyer on the apron was absolutely brutal to watch. Well done by both women.
Do we have a new champion?
By the time Cora Jade landed on Io and Mandy, the referee would have completed the 3 count and crowned Io Shirai as the new NXT Women's Champion. But for whatever reason, he hesitated and screwed her over. Don't you just hate incompetent referees?
Moonsault connects.
Io Shirai connects a moonsault and was in perfect position to pin Cora Jade, but instead she chooses to get off and cost herself the title. I get that your ribs hurt, but stay down for at least the 3 count and then we can complain about your pain after you won the title.
We're gonna make you the sexiest cowboy in Texas.
Brock Lesnar somehow doesn't make a cameo appearance in this video. That would have made this 2-minute waste of time entertaining. The entire existence of this poll voting for hottest couple, as if any of this matters in tonight's event.
NXT Stand and Deliver is brought to you by...
Skip! And by that, I mean, can we just skip to WrestleMania 38 because this event hasn't been that entertaining at all.
His size.
The unfortunate reality of the name Gunther is always hearing the audience chanting for his former name Walter. I get the reason they changed it, but it's still a sad reality. Whenever Kevin Owens usually does that powerbomb onto the ring apron, it causes his opponents to suffer injuries. Meanwhile, you have Gunther, who's more powerful than KO, hitting the same maneuver, and LA Knight just gets a tiny boo-boo.
Gunther is not too far away.
The referee counted 6 in his countout, yet his fingers are declared that he's at 7. So what is correct, his voice or his fingers? A Unless Gunther is fine with taking a count-out win over LA Knight on a big stage like this one, he's looking less and less like the dominant champion he was for 2.5 years. Gunther is more powerful than LA Knight, correct? So why is he having so much difficulty turning LA over to lock in the Boston Crab? He's practically in control of LA's legs.
However, there it is.
Huge slam!
Not really a huge slam, considering LA Knight's hands kept slipping off of Gunther before he could really hit the full force of it. And if you're just saying that it's huge because of Gunther's size, then I'm placing a sin for you calling him fat. He looks way better now than he ever did before, asshole. These never-ending promos for WrestleMania that last around 3 to 4 minutes each are probably the reason why this event manages to scratch 2.5 hours. Otherwise, we were probably looking at a 90-minute show. I'm instantly throwing in 20 sins because none of this makes any sense. Braun Breaker won the NXT Championship back in January, started his path of dominance, lost the title to Dolph Ziggler for whatever reason, lost on this night, all just to regain the title 2 nights later on Monday Night Raw in the same building. No matter how much anyone tries to explain it, it still doesn't make any sense. Hell, they're even playing the ominous cage lowering music when the wrestlers are walking to gorilla position, making this such a huge deal, all just to blow it off and have the big moment randomly happen in the middle of Monday Night Raw. Remember when everybody attacked Braun Breaker for doing this to the NXT logo several months ago, claiming they were doing everything in their power to disrespect Triple H and everything he did with NXT? What do you got to say about that now, huh, bitch? That's right, you were always wrong. This was awesome.
NXT Championship.
NXT Championship.
And funnel them into this match.
You know, I'd place in the haha you failed sin, but almost every match tonight has had at least one of those moments. I guess I'll just place in 5 sins because I saw this in 5 previous matches. Probably should have renamed this event NXT Stand Deliver.
You can be it, challenger.
He has played.
What in the hell was going on there? Dolph Ziggler stuns Braun Breaker and just stands there looking shocked while Braun calmly approaches him. I don't get this. Over on the live camera during this replay, you can clearly see Braun hit a clothesline on Dolph, which in turn causes Dolph to fuse together with Braun's body. Perhaps the reason the WrestleMania sign is turned off is because it's so embarrassed to watch this as there's so many botches going on. I get that Robert Roode doesn't want to leave after being ejected by the referee, but Braun should really focus on Dolph Ziggler instead of chasing off Robert.
Dolph Ziggler rarely loses to a relative rookie.
Wade Barrett claims that Dolph Ziggler rarely loses, especially to wrestlers like Braun Breaker. You may want to fact check because that claim is wrong on so many levels.
We'll take it a little.
After all the years that Dolph did that to show off, causing him to fail to keep the advantage, one would think that he'd know better by now, and somehow he doesn't.
With every suplex, with every go.
Honestly, the only thing Braun truly did to Dolph right there was nearly rip his trunks off. Be thankful Dolph had his boxers on underneath that, otherwise he'd be showing off too much.
You're the challenger. Boom!
One can never deny the awesome way Dolph Ziggler sells spears, like that one there. Reminds me of the epic way he sold Goldberg's spear back at SummerSlam in 2019. Man, I missed that party in Toronto.
Dolph Ziggler. Breaker. Ooh.
Braun Breaker was actually stupid enough to fall for Dolph Ziggler's begging for mercy trick, one of the most cliched things from the Book of Heel. After being ejected already, Robert Roode returns to pull out Dolph Ziggler from the ring. Why isn't the referee calling for the disqualification then? And why doesn't Robert suffer any further consequences for disobeying the rules of the ejection? You know what? I don't care anymore. Here are 50 sins. This show sucks.
How is Breaker on his feet?
A bigger question is, how does Braun Breaker still fail to win the match despite surviving several super kicks, interferences, and a zigzag, all just to win 2 nights later?